and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Dankert, would you do the roll call, please?
Mayor Steen.
Present.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Present.
Councilmember Baskin.
Present.
Helly.
Present.
Waller.
Present.
King.
Present.
Bashusta.
Present.
Fisher.
Present.
We have a quorum, Your Honor.
Item number 1, we need a motion for the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 2, we need a motion approving the minutes from April 15, 2019. Need a motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Recognitions and awards. Discover Austin,
I don't think
and
the
you know
mics
what,
are
we're
on.
gonna do the police captain first, because I know he's got a lot of people here. Todd Clinton is our new police captain. Dave,
Captain.
how many people are here for Todd? Okay, I want you to all leave when we're done with this. You don't have to stay, we're done.
Todd's been with us 20 years this July. He spent some time in the Marine Corps, a little bit of time with the Kansas City Police, but he is an Austin kid, came back to work for us, was on both our night and our day shift patrol. In the last 9 years, he's been one of our detectives, and he's been the commander of our CERT team. He officially assumed the rank of captain last Monday, but tonight, as part of welcoming to his new position, we're going to have his, I think your wife and your son pin your actual bars on. These are the insignia of the rank of his position, so they want to go ahead and do that.
And I worked with Todd for probably 8 years. I retired in '06. So we didn't really work that closely together, but I knew him enough to know that he was well respected, well thought of, and we thought he'd be a sergeant by now. So, okay. David, why don't you go ahead? You have the bars, or?
They've got the bars.
Why don't you stand up here, because I know if they're going to want to take pictures, and then your family can take pictures too if they like also.
I'll keep track of how he does it. Todd does a fantastic job for us. Like I say, he's really going to be a nice fit for the department, for the community. We're very happy to have him in this role, and I think, again, the city of Austin will be as well. So if you guys want to go ahead and put him on.
And Todd, how long were you in the Marine Corps?
4 years.
And your wife was in the Marine Corps?
She was.
All right, and the mayor was in the Marine Corps, so I like
She'll be a sergeant.
Well, you got a higher rank there and here than I ever had. Well, we're looking forward to working with Todd.
Lens cap's on, Mike.
For people that don't know, there's only one captain. We used to have 2. The captain's second in command, so every time that the chief is gone, the captain's in charge of the department. A lot of times when Dave's not gone, the captain's probably in charge of the department. Todd, we'd like to shake your hand when you're done, then you can go on council. And also, I hear your son's starting a police job pretty soon.
Yeah, Stephen has been hired with Madison, Wisconsin Police Department.
Is that the one that's taller than you?
Looking forward to him getting hired at the end of the month with Madison. So
That should be good. That's a good department. That's a good city too, so good luck.
this one. With their family people. I should get Marie up here too. Yes, Marie.
Oh, God. I'm my back here now?
You know what? We're not in a hurry. You can have your whole family up if you like.
I don't know if my mom,
Todd.
she heard yet.
How about your neighbor?
Neighbor, yeah, the neighbor should be in here too.
You're gonna be really mad at us before it's all over, so let's start off good.
Everybody smile.
Cute.
You know, when you're done, why don't we get one with Dave and Brian too? Brian, can you walk up here? He had surgery, that's why I asked.
That's some kind of retirement joke or something?
He had surgery. I'm not making fun of him.
Got the right shirt.
Oh, boy.
Todd.
Does anybody else want their pictures taken? Jody, you want to be up here? Todd? Todd?
Another Kodak moment.
This is the safest city council meeting we've been in a long time.
Nothing was gonna go down tonight.
Todd? Todd? Shake everybody. Give everybody like to shake their hand.
Congratulations, Todd. Congrats, Toddy.
I shouldn't say that in the microphone. Thanks. Okay, and where are we next? And yeah, and like I said, you guys don't have to stick around if you don't want. We have. And y'all really are free to stay if you want, but you're gonna probably be bored. You know we are.
Don't have to tell them twice.
Did that go for everybody, or was that?
Well, no, not everybody.
And that cleared
I
up.
think he's getting it.
Nancy, I didn't mean to push you back, but I think you can see why.
Absolutely, that's our.
We wanted to be able to focus in on you when
Oh,
you talk.
yeah. I think that was a good choice. I was actually in Leadership Austin with Todd, so very cool. Well, it's National Tourism Week, so I'm just going to give you a real quick recap as to what we have been up to for the last year. I think most of you got the packet of information, the annual report that I put out. So just want to highlight a couple different things on there. Austin was highlighted in Reader's Digest in November, as well as Good Morning America, as one of the nicest places in America. So that was pretty cool to be on that stage as well. And then the Explore Minnesota, the state tourism agency, actually sent a pumpkin out to the National Tour and Travel Department and painted a Spam can on there. So we had great representation out in Washington, D.C. as well. We have a lot of motor coach buses that come in, and so the Leisure Group Tour Travel listed Austin as one of the reasons to explore Minnesota in 2019. And Realtor.com listed Austin as number 6 as top 10 affordable towns where you actually want to live, so that was pretty cool. In October of 2018, we were announced that Austin would host the 2019 Governor's Pheasant Hunting Opener, so that'll be in October of 2019. And then Minnesota Monthly wrote must-do day trips in Minnesota, and Austin was listed on there as well. The Washington Post covered an article that talks about the town that gave the world Spam is proud to be autism friendly. And more recently, the BookBub listed the Sweet Reads as the ultimate list of local bookstores, 51 must-see bookstores across the United States. And Sweet Reads was the only one in Minnesota that was listed. So we have a lot of things to be proud of here in Austin, and it kind of sums up a visitor's letter at the end of page 3, kind of their feelings and their emotions that they had when they were here. So a lot of things that we have that other people are starting to recognize as well. On page 4, you will see those lovely smiling faces. Those are our board of directors, Mr. Stephen King, and then we will welcome Kevin for the 2019 year. They are the ones that give us guidance throughout the entire year. So pretty honored to have them on our team as well. On page 5, ultimately, Discover Austin, our mission is to promote tourism for the Austin area to enhance the economy of the community. And we do that through our visitor guide. In 2018, we increased it to 24 pages. We printed 25,000 of them, and we ended up with less than 200 remaining. So those went out the door, and people requested them. Newsletter distribution, our weekly newsletter goes out every Friday, and we are over 1,700 people that subscribe to that newsletter. And the open rate is 15%, which is above the national average. Social media continues to grow for us. Facebook increased by over 8% year over year. And this year we actually added Instagram as well and have over 240 followers. Our website, we continue to improve that, and this year we had over 6,700 more visitors than the same time last year. Tour and travel, those motor coach buses that come in, we welcomed over 160 of those, and on those was over 5,200 travelers. And one nice thing with that is that when they're coming, they're seeing more than just one attraction now. They're usually here for the day. So That increased to over $30,000 worth of admission fees. And keep in mind, like the Spam Museum's free and the Nature Center's free. So for us to have $30,000 worth of admission fees that come through our office and get paid to those attractions, that was an increase year over year. One of the biggest things that we use as a success factor is the amount of lodging tax that we get. That is how we are funded. And year over year, we had over a $23,000 increase in our lodging tax year over year. So the numbers are pretty strong that our occupancy levels are going up here in Austin.
Does that mean we need more motels?
We have a lot of weekends and a lot of nights that we have to send hotel guests to other communities.
So we're actually limiting ourselves by not having more hotels. I mean, I hear criticism from some people about building hotels, but we kind of need them, don't we?
We do send a lot of people, and then we also have, like, sometimes on the hockey weekends, we won't get the hockey teams to come in to participate in our local tournaments because they don't have the room, so.
Or if you want to do two things at one time.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Mhm. So on page 6, you'll see some state statistics, and on page 7, you'll see some economic impacts by county. We are just shy of 1,200 employment for the private sector for the leisure and hospitality industry here in Mower County. The last page is really, really small print. That kind of tells our calendar of events, and the smaller the print, the more there is going on in town. So this is just what we had as a snapshot when we did our annual report. You can go to our website, and we try to keep that calendar updated as much as we possibly know and what we know. So you can check that out. Like I said, it's Tourism Week, so we always do a different theme every year. This year is Be a Tourist in Your Own Hometown open houses. Some of them have already happened, but you can go to these attractions and do prizes, food, fun, and they're free. So I know Julie's having one that is going to stop out, check out the open houses, and see what the visitors are talking about. So that is a really quick one because there's always a lot going on in your meetings. So, anybody have any questions?
Council?
Nancy, could you talk about the 2 new breweries we have in town? Are those impacting tourism at all?
Absolutely. So the one that's downtown actually can handle about 50 people, which is the typical size of a motor coach group. And so what we have been able to do is they'll go there for lunch, and then we'll bring in Piggy Blues, or we'll bring in box lunches or something along those lines. So it's kind of, and then we can promote it as kind of exclusive for their particular group. So that is something that a lot of motor coaches are actually looking for right now, is breweries kind of be the trend. And so Austin's fortunate enough to have 2 of them, so we can provide that for them.
Craig, did you have something?
Yeah, I think in the past, Nancy, you told us that there were more funds we could get from the state of Minnesota for marketing and promotion. Is that still the case?
We've actually exhausted that, so we were
Okay.
able to change our budget a little bit so we can take advantage of all of that. So,
Great, thank you.
Anybody else? All right, thank you, Nancy. You
All
did a
right,
good
thank
job for us. Thank you. And last under this is a proclamation. We do this every year for the Buddy Poppies, the poppies that you see people wearing on their lapel. And this is Buddy Poppy Week. The annual distribution of Buddy Poppies by the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States has been officially recognized and endorsed by government leaders since 1922. And whereas VFW Buddy Poppies are assembled by disabled veterans, and the proceeds of the worthy fundraising campaign are used exclusively for the benefit of disabled and needy veterans and the widows and orphans of deceased veterans. And whereas the basic purpose of the annual distribution of Buddy Poppies by Veterans of Foreign Wars is eloquently reflected in the desire to honor the dead by helping the living. Now therefore, I, Thomas A. Steen, Mayor of the City of Austin, Minnesota, do hereby proclaim May 24th through 26th, 2019 as Buddy Poppy Days, and I urge all patriotic citizens to wear a Buddy Poppy as mute evidence of our gratitude to the men and women of this country who have risked their lives in defense of the freedoms which we continue to enjoy as American citizens. And if you have trouble finding them, we usually will have them on the front desk. They usually drop some off, and they'll be right here, and I think they're coming Wednesday. Is that right, Ann? Thursday, and then after that, we'll have them any day after that. So if nobody has anything to add to that, we will go to the consent agenda. We need a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Abstain.
Bid openings and awards. Number 5 is a resolution receiving bids for Oakland Avenue Southeast Street Reconstruction Project. Stephen.
This project is located on the Oakland Avenue underpass in the southeast part of town. From 10th Street to 11th Street, we're looking to reconstruct that roadway along with some extensive stormwater improvements. The low bidder on the project was Doyle Fire Company at $1,188,100.50. This is a standard roadway, so all of the funds, except for the sanitary sewer, are still not eligible. So we recommend awarding this project to Doyle Fire Company.
Okay, council, do you have any questions? If not, we need a resolution awarding the bid for number 5.
So moved resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Ellie.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
Kane.
Aye.
Schuster.
Aye.
Fisher. Councilmember Lloyd Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Okay, number 6 is a resolution receiving bids for demolition of 107 West Oakland Avenue. Stephen.
Yes, in preparation of an upcoming project at 107 Oakland Avenue West, we have taken bids for the demolition. We received multiple bidders that bid on this project. Carlton Companies, Inc. was the low bidder at $84,200. Down at the bottom of your memo, it kind of details the budget for the project and with the demolition where we stand with remaining dollars for this total project budget. So with this bid, we would recommend awarding the bid to Carlton Companies, Inc. As we did with the asbestos abatement, we'd like to make this contingent upon the successful purchase of the property by the City of Austin.
Council, any questions? If not, we need a resolution for 6.
So moved resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Ellie.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
Kane.
Aye.
Schuster.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Councilmember Lloyd Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 7 is a resolution receiving bids for the Ban Shell Park Sanitary Sewer Project. Stephen.
This is a project that we recently submitted a feasibility report to you at a recent council meeting talking about how we were combining multiple sanitary sewers into one and eliminating what we feel is a great deal of inflow and infiltration into the old sanitary sewer main. Jensen Excavating and Trucking, LLC, was the low bidder at $182,134. Many of these funds will come out of our sanitary sewer budget, as well as our capital improvement fund. We would recommend awarding the project to Jensen Excavating.
Council, anything? Jason, did you have something? Okay. If not, we need a resolution.
So moved the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Ellie.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
Kane.
Aye.
Schuster.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Councilmember Lloyd Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 8 is a resolution receiving bids for 4th Avenue Northeast and 4th Street Northeast intersection improvements. Mr. Lang.
Yes, there we go, 4th Avenue Northeast, located right here by City Hall. We included a little more backup information on this item for discussion if council would like to have further discussion on this project. But back in late 2018, we talked about different options for pedestrian improvements here with the new rec center. We talked about doing bump outs at the intersections. We looked at 4 different options that are included in your backup material. At that time, council recommended moving forward with option 1, which was just bump outs at 4th Avenue and 4th Street. We estimated cost to be $50,000 at that time. You can see here, we received 2 bids on the project. Doyle Connor Company was the low bidder at $169,585. Our estimate was $128,000. The reason for some of the increase is we have additional storm sewer that we are doing as part of the project, and the nature or the area of replacement has gotten much larger than we originally had planned. As part of the rec center project, there was underground utilities that were done last year, and we just temporaried a lot of that work in with asphalt. So you can see just as you're out driving across the road, there's a lot of asphalt area that needs to be replaced with concrete, and that is what has led to some of the increased costs. In looking at it, I want to make sure that we are weighing all the options. This is a pretty expensive project for just pedestrian improvements, but we also recognize that there will be a large increase in both motor vehicle and pedestrian traffic at the site. So taking that into consideration, as part of the project, we have included some small planters that would go in these bump outs, 4 small planters, and also pedestrian signage for crosswalk signage on 4th Avenue so that people going up and down 4th Avenue will see that crosswalk signage as well. So a lot of different factors have gone into this, resulting in the increased costs. Something to consider when looking at this cost for future bump outs, but based on the anticipated need for the facility across the street, we would still recommend this project even at the higher cost, and recommending that to Doyle Connor Company.
Council, anything? If not, we need a resolution for 8.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Under petitions and requests, 9 is a resolution affirming participation in the Office of State Auditor's voluntary 2019 performance measurement program. Craig.
Thank you, Mayor, members. The state auditor has a voluntary program. If we do a survey on performance measures, we can get a little additional state aid. We'd ask council to approve this resolution. We've done it several times in the past, historically speaking, and we need approval of the resolution.
So we just needed to qualify for certain aid?
If we do the survey, we can be qualified to receive the aid.
Okay. Council, any questions, comments? If not, we need a resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Councilmember Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. 10 is a resolution approving an airport maintenance grant for the fiscal years 2020 and 2021. Mr. Lang.
Yes, we received money from the state for operation and maintenance of our airport. They will pay for 75% of eligible costs up to $51,075. They have increased that for this 2-year cycle. Previously, I believe it was $47,000 or $49,000 that they would reimburse us, but they have increased that. Those reimbursements apply to snow and ice removal, summer mowing, pavement maintenance, and also building utility supplies and repairs. So on a yearly basis, we spend about $60,000 to $70,000 on what would be eligible costs. So we will be able to utilize the entire amount of this grant that is available. So we would recommend approving this 2-year grant with the state.
Council questions? If not, we need a resolution for 10.
So moved the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Dankert.
Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Councilmember Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
11 is a motion accepting a feasibility report for the Turtle Creek Trail Project. Stephen?
This project is identified in our CIP. It's located in the southwest from 4th Street to Busted Park. The project will include a 10-foot wide trail meandering through some existing property that we acquired as part of our flood control program. We have multiple funding sources on this project. We have a DNR grant in the amount of $100,000. We have a Hormel Foundation grant for $50,000, and then city funds will be $50,000. So we'll pay a quarter of the cost from this project will come out of our budget. So we would recommend approving this feasibility report for this trail extension.
Is that the trail by my area there?
Correct.
Council, any questions? If not, we need a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second? Was there, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. 12 is a motion authorizing $10,000 from 2019 contingency funds for Packer Arena controls repairs. Stephen?
This winter, we had some events overlap and cause some damage to a control panel at Riverside Arena. During that really cold stretch that we had back in January, it caused a damper to stick open. That cold air came in through the roof and froze a water line. The water from the water line then ran down on the control panel and wrecked the control panel. So it's original to the building from back in the early 2000s, so it's at least 15 years old. We didn't have it budgeted due to the freak accident, and we did get prices for some different types of controls, but we're recommending staying with the existing control panel manufacturer, NAC. They provided a bid of $8,240 for the control panel. There's going to be some additional work needed for programming, so we are requesting $10,000 be transferred from our contingency fund to fund this project.
Council? If nobody has anything, we need a motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 13 is a motion authorizing the sale of public works equipment. Stephen, it's all about you tonight, I guess.
Yes, it is. That's great. Lastly, for me, is a pickup truck that we want to get rid of. I think a meeting ago we got rid of or requested the ability to get rid of another 2001 vehicle. So this is our second one, a sister vehicle to the one that we requested before. It's actually doesn't even run, so we just want to request the ability to get rid of it.
Council, anything?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 14 is a resolution accepting donations to the city. We do this every meeting. We need a resolution.
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor? Or Stephen?
Tommy.
What's that?
Councilmember
Sorry, was that a
Baskin.
resolution?
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher. Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your
It's a
Honor.
motion.
Okay, 15 is a motion appointing Natalia Jarnagalega to the library board, term expiring December 31st, 2021. We just, oh, you say it. I mean,
Well, I'm looking at King, not me.
Chandra Holika.
Okay, I've known her for 25 years, I don't know how to say it. Anybody have any questions? If not, we need a motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 16 is a resolution declaring the garage at 1109 10th Street Northwest a hazardous structure. Any questions on that? If not, we need a resolution.
So moved. Second.
Or Tom?
Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Councilmember Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
I'll give you a shot. You can talk about both of them on 17. Why are we doing this?
The, let's see. This
You don't have
property-
to. I saw you get excited.
No, that's okay. The property at 907 9th Avenue Southwest, primarily there's a roof problem, but we had some information that the interior is disaster as well. The property owner has moved out. There's about 8 years of unpaid taxes associated with that property. I just spoke to her today. She gave us tentative permission to go into the home to do an interior inspection. Yeah, our feeling is that there's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done and that she's not in a position where she's going to be able to take care of it.
Okay, council, you have any questions on this? If not, we need a resolution for 17.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Baskin.
Aye.
Helly.
Aye.
Waller.
Aye.
King.
Aye.
Pashusta.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Councilmember Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
18 is a series of motions granting the Planning and Zoning Department a power contract for the removal of junk and/or illegally stored vehicles at A, 1611 6th Street Southwest, 16th Street Southwest, Allwelling property. We need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? B, 507 11th Street Southwest, Diggins property. Need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? C is 1300 18th Avenue Northwest, DCA property. Need a motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And finally, D is 1812 Oakland Avenue East, affordable rental property. Need a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Anybody here, did anybody come here who wants to address the council on any matters tonight? We're basically done with our meeting and citizens addressing the council. If not, we have reports and recommendations from the council. We'll start with Joyce.
Pardon?
Do you have anything
No,
you'd like to say to all the
nothing,
people
no.
out here?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Rebecca.
I have nothing.
Jeff.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Laura.
I wanted to thank the Karenni community for inviting city leaders to attend their celebration on Saturday. Kato Bo, I believe.
It was fun.
The only thing that bummed me out about it was I missed the mayor dancing.
Yeah, I just walked around in a circle.
But I'm very happy to see our parks being used for a community celebration like that. That's
And then
great.
right across the street, they were having a basketball tournament for the Latinos from all over the Midwest. So that was, walked across the street back and forth. It was fun.
Yep, that's what the parks are for. Love to see them get used. I also want to mention that next Wednesday, May 15th, we're partnering with the library on a family theater production called Shh, We Have a Plan. It's based on a children's book, and it's a play presented without words. So it's one of the few experiences where no matter what language you speak, if it's English or not, you can come and enjoy this arts experience with your friends and family and community members. So tickets are free, but you do need to get a ticket. You can get one at the library, at the Artwork Center, or at the Welcome Center. And we are very grateful to have funding through the Legacy Amendment and the Minnesota Libraries, also through the Welcome Center and through Rotary Club of Austin.
What time is that?
It's a 6 p.m. show. And if you have to mess up bedtime to bring your children, I'll personally vouch that it's worth it.
All right.
Say it that way.
We have a
It's
plan as most of our approach at bedtime. So,
Yes, yeah, exactly. It
Get
is
ready.
a 1 hour production, so even for littler kids, it should be doable.
Jason.
Just wanted to mention the mayor and I had an opportunity to sit on a panel in Chatfield on last Tuesday for the Southeastern Minnesota Municipalities League or whatever. It's like 14 words. Anyway, we got to talk with Winona, a couple other communities about the work that we're doing to create a welcoming community in Austin. And I think we all have a lot that we should be really proud of in our community because, we kind of talked about stuff that's just kind of second nature for us and things that seem common sense and logical to do. And I think the light bulb came on for a lot of folks that were there in terms of the approach. And I know I got a follow-up note from somebody in Olmsted County that was really impressed with all the stuff that Austin has done. So thank you for everybody's support, and thank you obviously for all the staff and volunteers that have done great work. I think we're definitely leading the state and should be very proud of it.
I don't think any community that was there has changed as much as Austin has, but probably in the state. And I think we've done a good job of transitioning from where we were to where we are. We're still in the process, obviously, but I heard a lot of good things after the meeting. Two people were very impressed with what Austin's doing. Paul. Greg.
I don't have anything. Stephen has something. I don't believe anyone else had any.
Is it okay? Okay, I just want to make sure. Coming up this Saturday is electronics recycling event. Wanted to let everyone know that it's being held at the fairgrounds, as it has been the last couple of years. From 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. they will be accepting electronics. There are costs for the drop-off, and cash and check are accepted. Credit cards are not accepted for payment.
No tires.
No tires, no trees, no branches.
You've got an electronic tire.
I know, but you get them though, haven't you? You see them out at the dump once in a while. Okay, is that it, Craig?
Yes.
This is Kevin's first meeting, right? Is this your first meeting as Park and Rec?
official
meeting. Kevin Nelson is our new Park and Rec Director, for those who haven't met him yet, and we've had some conversations. I think you're gonna do a very good job filling the shoes.
Thank you.
So welcome. Anybody else have anything before we adjourn? If not, we need a motion to adjourn to Monday, May 20th.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Take about a 10-minute, 5-minute break. We're gonna